Hi guys, Chef Kevin Belton here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Now, I don't know if you know this is noodle month. So instead of doing something traditional noodle, I decided to go with something a little different. I'm gonna make lo mein. That's right, okay? I'm using an egg pasta. This is an egg noodle, okay? You can try it with different things, all right? But this is an egg noodle that I'm gonna use. Now, I've already started preheating my pan, and I just turned it off because we want it smoking, so that's warm. But let's make our sauce first. So what I have here, I have 4 tablespoons of cornstarch that I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons of soy sauce to it. Now, the idea is we want to stir this until this gets smooth, okay? So just make sure you kind of get all of this in there. Get it till it's smooth. It's gonna take a minute. You know, gang, I've had lo mein and it hasn't really excited me any. And then Monica ordered lo mein one time and I'm like, wow, this is really good. But then one time we ordered it from a place that made it with what, angel hair pasta. And Monica wasn't a fan of that. But the lo mein she's gotten a few times were really, really good. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's make some lo mein, okay? And show you guys how to do it as well. Hopefully this will come out like the good kind. All right, so see how this is nice and smooth? Okay, now what I have here, I have mirin, which is rice wine, okay? Now if you don't have a Chinese rice wine, you're gonna need a teaspoon of sugar with this, but mirin is sweet. So that's why I don't need the sugar. I also have soy sauce in here, I mean sesame oil, and a little white pepper in this, okay? So let's go ahead and get this in. Remember, this is white pepper, mirin, and sesame oil. Now, we always talk about making recipes yours, okay? All right? Both Monica and I love sesame oil. So we put a little extra sesame oil in. This recipe doesn't call for sesame seeds, but guess what? We're gonna put some sesame seeds in this, all right? It's just always cooked to your taste. Now, let me go ahead, turn this back on to get our pan heating up. I've taken the chicken, I took a chicken breast, sliced it in half, and then cut it in fairly thin strips. Now, I wanna take a couple tablespoons of our sauce here that we did, and just coat our chicken, okay? We're just gonna coat this with the chicken. The rest of the sauce is going in, but just for right now, let's just get that coated.
And the recipe says you can do it with shrimp or beef or tofu. Would you do the same with that?
Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah, Monica said, and I was gonna tell you, gang, and I forgot, but like we're using chicken, but if you do it with shrimp, or you could do it with beef, or I love tofu. I don't know if you guys have tried tofu, a nice firm tofu, okay? Cut it like in matchsticks. Put the sauce right on it, whether it's the shrimp or the beef, toss it, okay? And you know, and I guess, Monica, if you want to do this with just vegetables, you could do the same thing, all right? Maybe some thin, I'd slice broccoli kind of thin, or maybe
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts sliced thin and then toss them with the sauce, okay? So that's all we want. We want this tossed nice. Now, I've got the pan back on high, okay? And I'm gonna put a little vegetable oil in. You can use a little vegetable oil, a little olive oil.
But you don't necessarily have to have a wok pan, right?
No, you don't have to have a wok pan. I would use a non-stick pan though. I find that for this, the non-stick pan works best. And guys, I'm using an electric stove, okay? This wok pan was made to be used on an electric stove. Look how it's starting to smoke. That's what we want, because this cooking is fairly quick, all right? So here I have some thinly sliced onions and garlic. So we'll get this in. Yum. Wait, what? Yum. Yum. All right. And you can see I just sliced the onions real thin. Just want to get those broken up. You know, the idea about a wok pan, gang, is on a gas burner, the heat comes up the sides. And that way you can get the pan really, really hot, okay? All right, there we go. That's all we need there. let's go ahead and toss our chicken in.
Let me see if I can smell it.
All right. Now, we aren't going to totally get the chicken cooked right now. All right. We just want to get the chicken tossed. And you see how the chicken is going to turn white. All right. That's what we want. We just want the chicken to start to turn white. Oh, hear that? That's the neat thing about this type cooking, is you want the pan super hot. Super hot. Now you see how that's starting to cook? So you can see how it's white, but it still has some raw pieces in. Carrots and red bell pepper. Let's get this in. Now we're going to need a couple of minutes just for this to get cooked right quick. I don't have much oil. I'm going to squirt a little more oil in our pan just to make sure nothing sticks down there. But by the time our carrots and our bell pepper cook, our chicken will have cooked. Okay? All right. Why'd you move back, Monty? Are you running?
No.
Oh, yes. And gang, make sure that your chicken is cut small. See, that's why it can cook so fast, because it's cut small. You want to cut it real thin, or even if you cube it, have it fairly small so that it doesn't take long to cook. That's why, even though I'm using breast, I took the breast and cut them in half first. Cut them in half and then cut thin strips. Okay? All right. We are ready. We are ready for some green onions. And they're just in 2-inch sections. Let's get some of our noodles in. And now, here's what we're going to get. We're going to get our sauce in. And a 1/4 cup of water. Come on, sauce, get out of there. And now all I want to do is go ahead and take 2 spoons and get this tossed. Just to make sure that sauce gets nice and coated on the noodles. I'll tell you what, our chicken is cooked. I can smell this. This smells so good. So I can turn our fire out. Oh, look at this. Fire's out. Here is where, look, little bit of sesame seeds, little bit of green onion, all right, to garnish it. Now, we can take it out of the pan and serve this in a bowl, put this on a platter, serve it just like that. But I tell you what, it smells so good in here right now. So remember, if you don't have a wok pan, go ahead and do this in a big non-stick skillet, okay? Use one that has some high sides. So when you toss it, and if you need to do it in 2 batches, that's fine. Because you can have everything cooked, take it out, and then put a little bit, half of it in the pan with half the noodles, some of the sauce, toss that, then go ahead and make the other batch if you can't have a pan big enough, okay? But try this. Remember, we did chicken, we did You could do shrimp, beef, tofu, take your pick, whatever you like. But I tell you what, celebrate National Noodle Month with a nice lo mein. All right? Keep washing those hands, keep masking up, stay safe out there. Thank you so much for cooking with me today. For WWL TV, I'm Chef Kevin Belton, and we'll see you soon.